Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. That's all praises, man, to the Most High in the name of His Son, who the world so inwardly calls Jesus Christ. Just want to keep it short and sweet today, man. I want to talk about the importance of being around righteous brothers, being around righteous sisters. But with that, I want to give shalom to all the brothers and sisters in this thing that are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, that are keeping the holy days, exhorting each other, building each other up, raising up the children in the way they should go, being steadfast, enduring, fasting, praying on a daily basis. We're going to start it off with the law, because that's what's wrong with the world. They don't want to keep the laws, and we just got to go back to them things and dwell in the simplicity. You got to start from the beginning. You don't know your future unless you know your past. And we've been disobeying our past. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've been disobeying the law, statutes, and commandments forever. So it's time that we get right, start promoting all the good things, man. Working on all the fruits of the spirit. Building up each other is the smallest things that put in the most work. Starting with Leviticus 19, verse 15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. That's what's wrong with our people. We don't judge in righteousness. Like, people had disputes and stuff, and instead of just like talking about it, overcoming, whatever that trial is, dealing with whatever the issue is at hand, our people want to, they want to get carnal. They want to, battle in the flesh. And we supposed to be battling against wickedness in high places, man. We supposed to be dealing with captivity and the heathen being over us. But instead, we rather be mad at the brother that got, the same type of stuff as us. We all come from nothing. Even if you got, so-called, riches, they not comely for us. So it's like those people who have money, they go off. Those kind of people, they don't have respect to persons. They don't care. They don't judge in righteousness. They don't even attempt to live by the law, statutes, and commandments. Them people, they love having strife. They want drama. That's what give you that love and hip-hop spirit. It's time that we, go past that. We got to judge our neighbors in righteousness, man. When you look at like the judge shows, and they try to give judgment, based on Esau's laws. But we got to judge everything according to the laws of the Most High. It's simple. I'm going to keep reading on verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord. And that's one thing we love to do, is be a talebearer. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, we love, being gossipers, being murmurers, backbiters. You get some info about somebody, you quick to go tell your auntie, your cousins, everybody at work. Next thing you know, your business is all out in the streets. We shouldn't even be like that. We shouldn't be spreading rumors. Even if you get the right info, directly from somebody, then your words don't get spewed in it. They gonna tell somebody their words get spewed in it. And next thing you know, it's a whole bunch of confusion and madness. Verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. But we don't know how to do that. We don't like to rebuke each other. The world be like, why you judging me? I'm not judging you. You read the book of Judges, you read Joshua, you got judged, man. It's a lot of sins that's worthy of death. We trying to save you from that. We don't want you to die. We want you to get back into the law, statutes, and commandments. We want you following after the Most High. We want you to get your spirit right, because of that day of judgment is coming quick. It's coming real swift. Yahushua gonna be coming like a thief in the night. He coming to render anger throughout this place, man. He gonna come in that white garment, and it's gonna be red from them treading through the wine press, man, knocking off people. You don't want to be of that 1/3, man. You want to be of the 1/3, Salakia. You don't want to be of that 2/3. You don't want to be the people that's going the hell off, the ones that never got back into the laws. the one who always hated their brothers, the one who was always tailbearing. Verse 18, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. That's heavy. We shouldn't want vengeance. Vengeance is the Most High's. Scriptures say that. If you actually in this thing, you will know that you ain't supposed to hold a grudge against your people. You ain't even supposed to let the sun go down upon that wrath. It's the simple laws, man, that just help build us up as a people. See, so when you actually doing that, you're exhorting your brothers. You're not causing strife. You're not causing division. You're actually uplifting them, whether they, know it, whether they don't, whether they want to believe it. Going on to Ecclesiastes 4. I'm going to start at 9. Two are better than one, because they have good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. So if you in the world being in folly, you ain't going to have nobody there to lift you up. It's going to be somebody there to kind of promote you to do more wickedness. I didn't grow up in this truth. I just learned the truth, over the past couple years. And it's like being back in the world, man, you go through tribulations, you got trials, you got stuff weighing you down, sitting on your shoulders, being a burden to you. And when you call your partners up, only thing they want to do is be like, hey, come out, we going to smoke something, we going to drink something. But how's that going to get you out of the situation, though? How is that going to better you? How are you going to learn a lesson from that and then, be able to pass that info on to the next person and build them up? You can't. It's just a circle of folly. Just vanity that's just going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating. That's not going to do us no good. That's all our forefathers did, was just keep repeating folly and vanity. You see, every king that we had, they all fell off. It was like every time they'd be like, yeah, oh, they did more wicked than their fathers. Or they did the same thing. We still caught up in idolatry. We still in anger. We still hate. There's no meekness. There's no temperance. The fruits of the Spirit are off, man. We need to read that Galatians 5:22 on down. Get in this thing. Learn how to love one another. So I'm going to read that again. Two are better than one, because they have good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. I said, so if you got another person around you that's actually keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, they're going to guide you in the right path. You going, you down in the spirit, they can give you some precepts, lift you up, just have a good talk, you know what I'm saying? And just go over the problem. You never know what somebody else may have already been through. They may have witnesses. They know how to overcome it. So they're going to help you do that same thing. I got a precept for that. You're going to go over to the book of Proverbs. You read like Proverbs, Psalms, Ecclesiastes, Sirach, man, you get a lot of wisdom in that thing. But fools despise wisdom. Don't be a fool. Remember being in the world, man, that was like a proverb that people use all the time. Like, what up, fool? And then like you come into the truth, you be like, damn. They went lying. I was definitely a fool. I was foolish in my thoughts, man. Foolishness is enmity with Yahweh, man. Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. I said, so you actually building up each other. Brother may be lacking in one area. Not everybody is built to handle, the revelations and Daniel 9 and, dealing with all these, visions and dreams and parables. Some brothers actually just got that faith. Some brothers just have wisdom. They know how to go about. It's people who good at living, the precepts of Sirach on a daily basis. Just making it through life without having, any strife in the world. They able to overcome, their tribulations and issues and stuff they have on a daily basis. But iron sharpeneth iron. So it's like if you ain't confessing your faults with one another, you can't get built up. Because ain't nobody going to be there to give you some wisdom. You know what I'm saying? To give you some comfort in your situation, man. That's something that the wine can't give you. That's something that drink can't give you. That's something that, flesh cannot profit. That's something that only comes from the Most High. So you got to be with somebody else that's got that anointed spirit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay in the book of Proverbs. We're gonna actually go up a few verses. Go to 5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. So if you actually rebuking your neighbor, it's better than just loving them and letting them stay in his vanity and vexation. You know what I'm saying? Verse 6. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. I said, so if you actually getting faithful, righteous words, from somebody who actually loves you and cares for you, it's better than the kisses of an enemy. And that's not a physical thing. That's talking about, somebody bandaging your wounds, man. That's not gonna profit you nothing. So Proverbs 17 and 22 said, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. I said, so a good word, that's like medicine. It's healing. Pleasant words are like a honeycomb, man. That's sweet to you. It's healing for the bones. But if you're just gonna keep dealing with, envy and strife, man, that's breaking your spirit like a broken bone. You ever like fell off a skateboard, you break your ankle? That's not a good feeling. That's what it's like when you get, vanity and vain words, from somebody of the world. You got to be around people who have the same mentality and same spirit as you. Go over to the book of Sirach. Sirach 22 and 13. Talk not much with the fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. So you don't want to talk much with fools. You want to stay around people who have a like mind. So when you first get in the truth, you can't still hang around them people that you used to know. Can't be around everybody you used to hit up the backyard barbecues and go play basketball with. Like you got to be around people that you want to actually have godly conversation with. Somebody that can uplift you. Somebody who can give you precepts in your time of trouble, in your time of tribulation. Yeah, I got one more verse. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. Going back to that book of Psalms, start at the top, 1 through 5. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. So you want to be around people who meditate on the laws day and night. It's not sitting in a circle, crisscross applesauce, humming, meditate. You read scriptures, you think about them on a daily, you repeat them off and on to yourself. You write them down so you can go back into them. You actually got a Bible, you can highlight them. Flip back to that page throughout the day. Dwell on that thought. You know what I'm saying? You can dwell on, the misery. You got that bill due that you can't afford. You're going to think about it all day long. You got to do that same thing with the precepts. You got to be like Psalms 1 through 5. Just repeat it to yourself over and over and over. Verse 3. And ye shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruits in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff in the wind, driveth away. See that? Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Said you don't want to be with them people. 2/3 gonna get wiped off right along with the heathen. You don't want that. We seeking the kingdom. We want to get salvation. And the only way you're gonna do that is meditating on the word, being around righteous people, and enduring until the end. But with that, we give a mighty Kwam Yashala and Shalom.